Hi, this is Chip.
And I'm Christianna.
Today we're going to talk about our trip a couple of weekends ago to Singapore. So we went to Singapore to get our telex.
You have to leave the country and go to an Indonesian embassy in a different country in order to process this telex.
Right, so we could have gone to Kuala Lumpur or Singapore or pretty much anywhere other than Indonesia. So we got expedited service so that it would only take one business day. It can take up to 5 business days if you don't pay the extra fee.
And Singapore is a lovely city, but it's rather expensive.
Yeah.
That's why we were in Singapore, and while we were there, we had a wonderful time. It was a little mini vacation. We'd been in Bali for about a month. About a month.
Yeah, so a little bit about Singapore. It's a very dynamic international city-state, very culturally diverse, about 5.6 million people. Very clean, very efficient. Gum is not sold, and therefore the sidewalks are pristine.
If you were to be found chewing gum and spitting it out on the sidewalk in Singapore, you would suffer dire consequences.
Yes. Right.
Dire?
Yeah,
I think
say
dire.
dire.
At least a fine, if not jail time.
Yeah, or caning.
I hope not caning.
When you arrive in Singapore, the best way to get into the city is on the amazing MRT system, which is Singapore's subway system. Very clean, very efficient. We took the subway over the 3 days that we had the pass several times a day, and I don't think we ever waited more than maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah, for the next train. There are a lot of trains. It's very efficient.
So what you can do is at the airport, you can buy a 3-day tourist pass that gets you onto subways and buses without limitation.
Unlimited rides.
And it's $30 Singapore.
Which is about
$22 US. And
here's the clincher.
Yeah, the beauty is that after the 3 days, you take this plastic card that they've given you and you turn it in and they give you $10 Singapore back.
Cash,
so basically,
cash.
Yeah,
They give you
just
cash. Right there. Thank you for the
there.
card. This was our second trip to Singapore. We'd visited a few years ago and had stayed sort of in the southern.
Yeah, kind of near the harbor.
Near the harbor. So this time we wanted a different neighborhood, and we stayed on Orchard Road, which is
kind of a Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, sort of a Fifth Avenue feel. So and there was a metro stop right there, so that was super convenient for all of these other adventures.
Early on in our stay, we wanted to get our bearings, so we went to a bar called the Salt Grill and Sky Bar. It's on the 55th floor, and it was right across the street from our hotel in Ion Orchard building. No charge to get in there, which is sort of unusual for a
rooftop view like that.
Just incredible views.
It was really pretty. We got there about 5 o'clock. It was totally empty. It was like our own private viewing tower for the first probably half hour.
The next spot we went to, a quick subway ride, was the Singapore Botanic Gardens, which are also, all of the places that we went are fairly central to the main part of downtown Singapore. Incredibly beautiful, large garden area right in the heart of Singapore.
Part of it kind of felt like Central Park to me.
Yeah.
It did. There was a pond, I think it's called the Swan Lake, Swan Pond.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very open and spacious, and just the way the lawn went down to the water and the trees around it felt very much like a pond in Central Park. But then it changes. Then you go into the Orchid Garden.
Yeah, which is
so exotic.
Very jungly. So the Botanic Gardens themselves are free. There is a $5 Singapore charge to go to the National Orchid Garden, which is, again, about $3.70 US. And it is spectacular. You will never see a collection of orchids like this anywhere else on Earth.
Growing in their natural environment. They're outside, they're just growing. They're not in a really highly manicured artificial setting. They're just along the path, and there they are, and you can get really close to them and take photos and smell them and really get a feel for the orchids.
Do orchids smell?
Uh-huh.
Huh. Some of us can't smell the orchids as well as
I
others.
think they do.
Yeah.
I felt like I was smelling orchids.
Singapore is at 1 degree north of the equator, so obviously it gets pretty warm. We went early afternoon, which is kind of the heat of the day, and it is about a kilometer walk from the subway station to the orchid gardens. So if you're going to do this, recommend doing it earlier in the morning.
Wait,
Yes?
the subway will drop you off, right, to the orchid garden. It'll drop you off near the gate of the Botanic Gardens. So
Right.
that's really convenient. But the orchid garden, like you were
Right.
saying, it's a long walk through the park. So you get to the orchid garden, see all the orchids, and then you're thinking, okay, I'm ready to get back on the subway. And it's a really long way back if it's hot,
Yeah, but if
it's
it's
really hot.
90 degrees and 85% humidity, it can
It's
get
a little drippy.
little drippy. Our next stop was the Marina Bay Sands Hotel in the Marina Bay section of Singapore.
I think it was Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes.
Where they had the big party scene, and the building looks like it's got kind of a ship on the top, like 3 boats connected.
Right.
That's the Sands. That's the Marina Bay Sands Hotel. So that's where we went to see another rooftop.
Right, and so
View.
they charge you $20 to get up to that place, and you per person, and then you apply
Singapore.
that, $20 Singapore to, they sell drinks obviously up at the bar. They're overpriced, and so the $20 per person will cover about 80% of the cost of a drink up there. But it's an amazing view, and it does sport the largest.
World's largest.
World's largest rooftop infinity pool. That is reserved, however, for hotel guests.
Next up was Little India, which is one of our favorite places because we love Indian food, and our favorite restaurant here, the Banana Leaf, never disappoints.
Yeah, it's just a very colorful, authentic feeling part of Singapore. We visited Chinatown briefly one afternoon for lunch. Didn't spend a lot of time there, but it is a very interesting part of Singapore, very pedestrian friendly, and we do look forward to going back and visiting it again soon. But our next adventure will be
To Nusa Lembongan.
Lambangan.
Lambangan. It's one of the Nusa Islands. There are 3 Nusa Islands: Nusa Penida, Nusa Lambangan. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I think that's pretty good.
And
Yeah.
Nusa Chinida.
Chiningang.
Chindingkan.
Chiningang. We're going to go to Nusa Lambangan.
For a couple days. Probably next week if we get our visas.
Yeah.
So stay tuned and we will give you an update about that.
Yep.
If you
Excellent.
enjoyed the video, please subscribe and also hit the thumbs up symbol down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Energy.
Then the next day we got our
Bug.
bug. Ah!
Wait.